I think it is safe to say that the aim of every living being is to have a full experience of life, to express life without sorrow, without suffering, without pain, and without discord. So the question is, why do you have all of the above? Why do we suffer? As metaphysicians, we work with mind. We acknowledge that mind is the source and the cause of all our seeming suffering. And the only way to change that course is to establish your mind on a principle that liberates. We say the principle that liberates is wherever we are, God is. That is the omnipresence of God. And according to the Apostle Paul, we live, we move, and we exist in this one presence, one power. A writer says, just imagine the ocean as this great ocean of allness. And every wave, every white cap is part of the ocean. It comes out of the ocean and expresses itself while staying in the ocean, and then disappears back into the ocean. Let us consider every life form, everything that exists, existing in this omnipresence, coming up, having an experience, and going back into it. Take yourself as a spiritual being, as part of this great force or presence, having an experience in the presence, right here, right now. The psalmist says in 139, and I'll paraphrase, where can I go? Anywhere I go, God is there. That we don't live outside of God. We live in God and with God. If there's any notion that we live outside of God, that God is there and God is here and I am here, it comes from our thinking. Jesus said, the kingdom is not a place you say, lo here or lo there. The kingdom is within us. All of God is now flowing through me, is now flowing through you. It is because of our error thought that says that we are separate and apart from God that causes us to experience the suffering that we experience. For if the nature of God is absolute good, then because we do exist in God and expresses God every day, well then we should be what? Expressing absolute good. So I think what is necessary is a change in that foundation piece that brings everything together for us. to reestablish in mind the notion that wherever I am, absolute good is, and all is well. The more we live separate and apart lives from God, is the more we will continue to experience the things unlike God or good. The second principle that we have to work with is the divinity of man or humankind. That all of us are spiritual beings. That as a spiritual being, all the qualities of the infinite pass through me because I am a part of it. So if as a spiritual being, all good is available to me, then that is a practice that I have to make, reestablishing my mind in the goodness so I could experience it every moment of the day. But what happens to us? Because our foundation is formatted in the past, and in the past, we have entertained erroneous thoughts about ourselves and about God. These erroneous thoughts have crystallized as beliefs that become unshakable truths that motivates every aspect of our lives. So sometimes we have this great inner feeling that maybe, I am this spiritual being. And then the next moment, something that has registered in your mind as a belief says, that's not true. If you were a spiritual being, you wouldn't be suffering. And then we start to look back at all our pain and we say that is true. And we reestablish in mind the old belief that continues to produce the same old effects or results, and we don't know how to change it. Practicing the presence means to seek to establish in mind the truth of our beings. To seek to establish that I am one with God, one with absolute good, one with the infinite, one with the purity that is goodness, and rest your case. Don't go but or and. Learning to accept this as a truth begins the process to set us free from all the things we don't like in our lives. We could continue to tell ourselves that, I want to live the good life. But living is an effect. The way you live is in accordance with what you think, what you believe. Now, I want to say, belief is like something that you hold to be precious. And your entire life is focused on guarding that thing that is precious. So you will defend it with all your might. Just go back and think about some of the beliefs that you have defended. Because to you, it was the absolute truth. I sometimes in my life go back, I free fall into the past and look at some of the beliefs that I had that motivated some of the behavior that I did. And I said, it couldn't be me. I couldn't hold that to be true. And the first set of beliefs that motivate us at the beliefs we hold about ourselves. We live in environments or societies that tell us who we are. Whatever they think about it, they put in our books. It's on television. It's on the radio. That we have to allow other people to choose what we wear, what we buy, how we wear what we wear. And then we fit into a pattern and believe that the pattern that we fit into, and then 10 years after they change that pattern, and we have to scramble to get rid of all our butterfly ties and all kind of stuff so we could fit into the pattern. When you realize that you are an independent thinker, that you are unique, that you are like no one else, one morning you can wake up and say, I will decide to be me. The perfect expression of the Creator that created me. For when the Creator created me, the Creator declared that I am good from beginning to end. So whatever they have described me to be based on my gender, ethnicity, education, or whatever declaration they want to put on me in any area that I exist to them, I know that is not true. Because I have now planted a new seed that says, I am one with the good, one with the infinite, and I exist as an independent expression of the infinite. In other words, I have a right to do my thing, regardless of what you think about me. Practicing the presence begins with denying what you thought about yourself before. Changing the script. When Jesus was sending the disciples out, he told them, take no script. In other words, take no judgment. Take no description with you. Wherever you go, see it for what it is. It's absolute good. Don't take any labels. Don't take any emotional contact. Just accept things the way they are. And if somebody doesn't like what you're saying, shake the dust. In other words, don't get all emotionally hung up. No, it's good. Because everything that is happening to me every moment is an opportunity provided for me to do what? Excel. To rise above. And stop judging myself according to what the world may have thought about me, and come to see myself in the light that God sees me, absolute good. So one of the things that I have been practicing over the years is I am a spiritual being, colorless, genderless, classless. I am always at oneness with God. And when I catch myself, because I judge, I try not to, but it's a bad habit from the time I was a little child, and I'm still working to release that. Don't believe that as a minister, I am pure of heart. If you thought that before now, dispel it. I still judge, I still have flaws, and I am still working on me. Hello. And the reason why I do this on a Sunday morning is not for you. I do it so I could reinforce that I need to change further. So this lesson this morning is not for you. It's for me. But you could join in if you would like to hear my experience coming forth to you. And if something that you find that you could use out of this, you're free. It comes free to you. After the service, we will ask you to give a donation. Give the donation, that I could come back here and give you more of the stuff next Sunday. The point is, every life is a work in progress. From pope to pauper, from king to kin, all of us are on the same path to experience life fully. And to experience life fully, we have to be constantly doing a forgiveness treatment, releasing the past. You know, we spend so much time thinking about what people will think about us. Imagine that. All that energy wasted instead of just living. Hello now. What they think about you is their impression based on their pattern of thinking. They don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about myself. All I have is memory of things that I may have done based on the things that I thought might have been true. And all I want to do now is to do what? Continuously progress to that place that I could say, I have arrived at a place and I am free and I am feeling fulfilled and happiness, and nobody could disturb that peace. I've been working on this for about 40 years. And it seems like if I have 40 more years to go to fulfill it, because it's an everyday practice. We fall down every day. Every saint, according to the songwriter, began as a sinner. So when you look at yourself and you judge yourself against other people, realize, ain't anybody in a human body that is perfect. We are all seeking to be as perfect as our Heavenly Father is perfect. There's a wonderful song that says, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. When God is through with me, I will come forth and be good. Isn't that blessed assurance? That's like having an insurance policy. That if you keep practicing the presence, one day, blessed assurance, you will arrive at the place when your mind will become so relaxed and there is no more bother, fear, worry, anxiety, and you could just say, wherever I am, all my needs are met, for the Lord shepherds me and I lack nothing. Isn't that wonderful? I think this is what I am living for. To release all the clutches that the outer may have on me. All these chains that come from the outside that try to tie me down. Things like judging myself, judging other people, judging the conditions, judging everything in a negative way, unlike the nature of everything that is absolute good. When I get past that, one day, man, I'll get a tambourine and just raise my hand, get Richard. I'll hire Richard for a year to come and play piano as I celebrate. That means you don't have to work anymore. I'll pay you. But you understand what I'm saying. This is the joy of life. When we begin to realize in every moment we are called to practice the presence by establishing God as our only source and supply, that everything we have need of is already with us. We are not separate and apart from anything outside. Everything is inside. Isn't that wonderful? At least to me it's wonderful. When I talk about this, I get excited because there's hope for me still. There's hope that I could still experience health, meaning wholeness in every area of my life. That I could experience abundance in all good things, that I never get desperate about anything. And I am happy. I don't know. That you could do whatever, dance however you want in front of me, it will not affect me, because I came happy and I am leaving happy. Isn't it wonderful to know that there's a hope that you can live the type of life that you are expected to live if you keep practicing wherever I am. Just a simple practice. Wherever I am, God is. And then rest your entire mind on that principle. So when you leave wherever you're leaving, you leave with that. You stay with that. And you come back with that. So that's a practice. Jesus told us about 10 young women who were untouched by negative thought. They were virgins. Ten of them were waiting for the bridegroom to come. 5 of them, realizing they did not know when the bridegroom will come, they went out, they bought a lamp, they bought some oil, they bought a wick, and they went to 7-Eleven and bought some matches. And every minute of the day, they walked with that. You know, like how some women walk with their makeup kit? They walked with their light kit. Just like women expecting that they may have to if you don't do, that's your problem. But I'm saying they are prepared for whatever is to come. And 5 other women, they didn't do anything. And one night, there was a sound. The bridegroom is coming. And you are expected to go to Roy Thompson Hall that is in the dark. And the 5 who had prepared light the wick, and they had light. And these 5 who did not prepare started to scramble and beg. Too late. Practicing means to take what you need with you every conscious moment of the day. What do you need? Wherever I am, God is. What does this mean? The psalmist explains it nicely in the 23rd Psalm. The psalmist says, "The Lord shepherds me, and I lack nothing. Wherever I go, the shepherd leads." Helena. Whatever my needs are, the shepherd provides. Whew. I will never be a goat. I will always be a sheep and let the shepherd lead me. You know, there are 2 different, they're like cousins, the goat and the sheep. But one is wild and woolly, having its own way, like to jump and prance and go anywhere. Can't be disciplined. But the sheep, realizing that it maybe can't hear too well or see too well, surrenders to the shepherd by practice. Discipline calls for practice. You see, many of us have good voices, right? And all of us believe we can sing. All of us have two hands, and all of us believe we can cook. But it takes practice to do it beyond the ordinary. Because you do not know when you will be called to perform what you said to people you can do. Eleanor, we've had singers who boasted how much they could sing, and when we put them up here, you realize we have people who say they could cook, and when we give them the chance to cook, you know, I'm not judging here, but there's good food and there's not good food. There is singing that you can appreciate and singing that hurts the eardrum. Being very practical. So what I'm saying, we have to practice medicine, we have to practice law, and yet still we don't want to practice life. The most important thing is to practice living. Living from the point of view that wherever I am, God is, and God's nature is absolute good, so nothing could be ever wrong wherever I am. And holding that as the foundation. Your mind is a mold. And whatever you entertain in mind, you produce. If your mind is based on separation, you will produce fruits or articles or experiences just like, because we have image, we have likeness, and the likeness is equal to the image. The image is the pattern. So if you want to change your behavior, you have to change what? Your attitudes. This is what Jesus was trying to tell the disciples when he had them on the side of the mountain, teaching them. He says to them, there's some attitudes that you need to acquire if you want to live the Christ life. He says, blessed are the poor in spirit. That means why? Means what? You got to lose your pride and your haughtiness and your wanting to be seen of men as important. You have to lose that and become lowly. To go places without a billboard and just go as a channel for God without telling people, do you know who I am? You have to put aside your haughty self and become just life longing for itself. The poor in spirit. Blessed are the meek. Meekness is not weakness. Meekness is a sense of humility. I know nothing. Teach me. Show me. I think when you get to realize that every moment is an opportunity for you to come to know more, you get rid of I know. I know meaning from the point of view I have it all. You can say I know in conversation meaning I understand. not coming from the place I have it all. You've got to be teachable by being open and receptive. That's the knowing that I am talking about. I know there is more to gain wherever I am, so I come to every moment willing to be taught as I keep opening up my mind to more of this universal presence that is always in my mind. Blessed are those that mourn. To mourn is to empathize. When things happen to people, you don't walk around and clap. Good for them. No. You realize that anything that happens to any human being can happen to you. Hello. Anything that has happened to another human being can happen to me. So where you can give comfort, you give comfort. You don't feel sorry for. You empathize. How can I help you? Give a smile. Say something pleasant instead of saying it's good for you. We've been there. Hello now. You remember, I told you so? Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. In other words, our quest is to do the right thing. Every decision we have to make should be grounded on the one principle. Wherever I am, there's absolute good. Let me drive my mind towards that place that all my decisions could be like God or be absolute good. That's my quest. My quest is to seek perfection. And the only way I can do that is to knock out all the obstructions that stand between perfection and myself. By walking this path of goodness, not judging others. Blessed be the peacemakers. Every place I am, all I come is come in the name of peace. So it doesn't matter what you say to me, there will be no fight from me. If I don't like what's happening, I walk away. You fight it with anybody. You have your way of doing things. I have my way that I would like things to be done to me. So I try to do unto others what I expect them to do. And I have to practice that every moment of the day. Hello, is that good? We good? It's changing your mind now. Putting your mind on another path to experience the goodness that is available to you. It says, blessed are you when situations come into your life, like people persecuting you. Wow! Have you ever felt persecuted? Now turn to yourself. Have you ever persecuted anyone? Hello now. Have you ever criticized or condemned or judged? Hello now. To make people feel small so that you can feel big. Put people down. Blessed are you who could endure it, realizing that everything that comes to me is an opportunity. It's not about them, it's about me. Why is this in my life? To help me grow. Life is like a kindergarten to grade 12. To reach grade 12, I have to overcome all the seeming problems from kindergarten right through to grade 12. I can go on to university if I'm not willing to pass the test. Hello now. Then they will give me the credit. but my nature and my mind will be still in kindergarten. And some of us are like that. You have to learn to overcome, because overcoming increases our ability to appreciate ourselves and the flow of this dynamic energy we call God. Sometimes we don't realize that the greatest traitor of them all is inside of us. People are coming into our lives to help us. But because of our negative thinking, we can't get the help. Sometimes you have to go quiet and take a look at yourself and realize that everything that came into your life came in because of your state of mind, not anybody else. And start blaming the people who have passed through your life, from your parents right up to me right now. Stop blaming us for your life. Your life was carefully crafted by you and your thinking and your belief system. Love it and then change it. Bless it and then change it. Stop cursing yourself and others for the type of life that you have. Bless them all. Father, I thank you for my past. I thank you for the people and the situations that have passed through my life, because each one has brought me to this place to help me practice you more. Yes. Thank God for the exes. I didn't realize there were pluses. But they have always been ticks, meaning that they came and helped me gain enlightenment. Thank you, God. Hello now. Praise and thanksgiving. Don't let people get into your head. Who gets into your head destroys you. Don't think about anybody. Think about the goodness that they represent in your life. Believe that no one on the outside has power over you. All power happens within you. Power means the ability to do. Don't let people take away your ability to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life by getting upset with their behavior. Strengthen yourself. Come to believe more that you have the power to change, to create, to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life. And stop waiting for the right person to come. Become the right person, and then you will attract only the right people in your life to help you go forward. I am now in my 70s, and I know people in their 70s who are still waiting for the right person to come. Not realizing that everybody who came was the right person, because we didn't have the right mind. We couldn't entertain them as we should have. Because every one of us is an expression of the same presence and power. So how could anything that came out of absolute good be other than absolute good? Ask yourself that. But when we look outside, we have a specific dimension to build our ark. We want an ark that is 6'5", 210 pounds, waist 36, Bus 500. We want to tell the universe how to give us when everything in the universe is the universe. Be grateful for everything that you have in your life. And if the universe wants to give you more, because if you change your consciousness, you will get the changes you require. Reconnecting with spirit means to go sell all that you have. Get rid of all these false, erroneous beliefs about yourself, about other people, about your gender, about all that kind of self. Gender does not matter. Race does not matter. You are colorless as a spiritual being. It is your attitude that causes what you do and how you display yourself to be condemned by others. I had a student once, had a PhD, and was working in one of the ministries, and every time a position of advancement came, they were denied. And one day they came to me and I said to them, what is the reason you think that you don't get the job? And they explained, because I'm a woman, because I'm black, and because of that. And I told them, I said, your enemy is not outside of you. Your enemy, you take around with you, because by your fruits, you are known. If you feel because you're black, you're not getting, look around the world and see how many black people have things. So if you're not getting, it's the type of black person that you are, who actually curse yourself before you get there. Start believing that you have the power, the ability to do all the things that you have to do. And over 6 months of work, when the next position came up, she got one. Change your mind. We need to change who we think and stop walking around with all this venom and seeing ourselves as made in the image, likeness of goodness. And wherever I am, nobody could stop me because I come in the name of God or goodness. I am right for every position that I seek. God bless you. Thank you.
We've got a fun one for you. Hope you'll join us. In the middle of the, I go walking 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 in the middle of the, in the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, from the mountains of faith to the river so deep. I must be looking for something, something sacred I lost. But the river is wide, and it's too hard to cross. And even though I know the river is wide, I walk down every evening, I stand by the shore. I try to cross to the opposite side so I can finally find what I've been looking for.
In the middle of the night,
Middle of the
I'm
night,
walking in my sleep,
walking in my sleep,
valley of fear,
valley of
to
fear,
river so deep,
river so deep,
I'm searching for something,
searching for something,
something sacred I lost,
sacred I
something
lost,
I would never lose,
I never lose,
somebody stole,
something somebody stole. I don't know why I go walking at night, but now I'm tired and I don't want to walk anymore. I hope it doesn't take the rest of my life so I can finally find what I've been looking for. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, through the jungle of town, to a river so deep. I know I'm searching for something, something sacred I long, something I'll never lose, something somebody stole. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the, I go walking 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 in the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, through the desert of truth, to a river so deep. We all led in the ocean. We all start in the stream. We're all carried along by the river of dreams. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the, I go walking 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 in the middle of the, ooh, I go walking in the middle of the, I go walking in the middle of the night.